Now, local news about local people. This is Newslink Indiana.
Good evening, I'm Chris Bavender. Thanks for joining us. A Madison County man is dead after his car flipped over a bridge and landed in a creek. Police say time was the biggest factor in his death. He was conscious when they arrived, but wasn't breathing when pulled out. Newslink Indiana's Stephanie Champlain spoke with paramedics about what hypothermia does to the body.
You know, the worst part is he was alive when I got there.
Nearly 20 minutes later,
we weren't able to keep that.
Gregory Perky was unconscious and not breathing. Police say his car was upside down, his seatbelt still fastened. Deputy Kim Lott wasn't able to get it undone.
I mean, all he had to do is just hit a button.
But Perky couldn't, and that's what paramedics say is one of the effects of hypothermia, when body temperature drops from the norm of 98.6 degrees to 95 degrees and lower.
And when that happens, you become somewhat lethargic, you know, like almost a drunken type state, you know, very confused.
Symptoms start, however, when you begin to feel cold and shiver. And paramedics say just because it's warm out, don't be fooled. Hypothermia is still a risk. While creeks like this one covered with ice and snow are an obvious danger for hypothermia, Anderson firefighter paramedic Don Watson says something people don't realize is that they can get hypothermia even during summer months.
Up at the lakes, you think it's a real hot day and you get into the lake water. If it's like spring fed or it's cool and you're in there for long periods of time, you can have hypothermia during the middle of the summer.
Watson says the most important thing, get heat through the body.
Get them out of the wet clothes, the cold clothes, put warm blankets around them.
In Anderson, Stephanie Champlain, Newslink, Indiana.
Because of privacy rules, Methodist Hospital wouldn't release the exact cause of Perky's death. A gas leak at the Blackford County Courthouse forced the evacuation of employees early this morning. Officials at Vectrin Gas said a piece of ice fell from the roof and landed on a gas meter, cracking it and causing the leak. Employees were evacuated to the courthouse annex for about an hour. The problem was quickly solved and employees were soon back to work. Anderson police arrested a woman Wednesday morning accused of stealing close to $5,500 from her former employer. Gina McVeigh of Anderson was arrested on 26 counts of theft from the Mofab Corporation in Anderson. Police say McVeigh changed receipts when customers paid cash. Their receipts showed the entire amount, but McVeigh would turn in a receipt with a lesser amount and pocket the difference. Police say McVeigh stole from the company from July of 1999 through December of 2002. SBC Communications released a list of its most frequently reported cases of telecommunications scams and threats in 2004. They include identity theft, telephone scams, and internet threats. The company offers these tips to protect you from scams and threats. Be cautious and ask questions. Read your telephone bill carefully. Be wary of alleged changes in service and only return calls to familiar numbers. If you think you're a victim of telemarketing or internet scams, you can file a complaint with the National Consumer League at 1-800-876-7060. After Christmas sales are on and one local antique mall is right in the middle of it all, Newslink Indiana's Alyssa Ivinson has the deal on some good old buys.
Very neat. Oh, that iridescent one's neat.
If antiques are on your list, look no further.
It's so big and they have so much here, really.
They have a lot.
It's Webb's Antique Mall in Centerville, and with more than 85,000 square feet, it's one of the largest in the U.S.
If they're serious, it'll take them all day, and some of them will go through all the showcases one day and come back the next day and do all the floor space.
And there's a lot to see, from traditional antiques, popular collectibles, the unusual, the frightening, and the historic. The Davises and Hamels from Lima, Ohio have made the 2-hour drive to Webb's for the past 15 years.
That's the thrill of it all, just to go antiquing, right.
And there's something to fit just about any budget, from this antique soup can for $1 to this antique wardrobe for more than $6,800.
There's a lot of stuff to choose from.
And with after Christmas discounts, shoppers flock to the mall.
Some people save up to come to Webb's because they know that there's going to be a sale.
Employee and antique buff Bruce Adkins has been collecting since he was 15.
I would love to spend every paycheck. I have sometimes.
As for Jan Hamill, her day antiquing, a success.
Something? A doorstop and a platter, a false-craft platter for my daughter-in-law.
And it's easy to get lost in the land of shelved history. In Centerville, Alyssa Ivinson, Newslink, Indiana.
Webb's also has 2 antique malls in Florida with more than 700 dealers between the two. Now here's Marcus Bailey with a look at tonight's forecast. Marcus?
Thanks, Chris. Very warm day outside today, a very pleasant day. High of 44 we jumped up to. You woke up to 38 degrees, which is balmy for what we've had for the past weekend over the holiday. And it's just going to continue to get warmer as the weekend goes further and further to the end of the year, to the holiday weekend. We'll take a look at the highs for tomorrow around the state. We'll have 52 in the Circle City, 49 here, 50 up in South Bend, 50 up in the Chicagoland area, 56 out in Springfield, Illinois. The reason for these warm temperatures right now, as we look at precision cast, this warm front coming from the west will be pushing north, allowing warm air from the Gulf of Mexico to surround the east central Indiana area and warm temperatures up until the weekend. We'll start to see cooler temperatures or more average temperatures by the beginning of next week. Let's take a look at a video we shot earlier today. These kids going out and enjoying probably the last day that you'll have to go out and make a snowman, get in a snowball fight, snow forts, as rain will be coming in later this week and warmer temperatures will begin to melt the snow in the area. Of course, a big problem that will be with all of this melting will be flooding well into the rest of the week and maybe refreezing over the weekend when we get below the freezing mark. So be careful and be advised of that as all this snow around the area will be melting. But for tonight, we'll drop down to 35, not nearly as cold. For tomorrow, we'll bump it up to 49 degrees with showers in during the afternoon starting, and it'll be off and on with sunny skies. Outside of that, we'll look at the rest of the week. 53 on Friday. Your holiday will be 53 on Saturday. Happy New Year's to you. And on Sunday, 51 degrees. Chris?
Thanks, Marcus. Well, if you have unused glasses or hearing aids and don't know what to do with them, Newslink Indiana's Jennifer Kinley found just the place that can put them to good use.
The Lions Eyeglass Recycling Center in Upland is the largest center of its kind in the world. There are only 7 such centers in the United States. And the Upland Center does more business than the other 6 combined.
Now we're doing 1.5 million per year. So things grow, things get bigger and better. So just the idea to be able to help somebody and just to see the immediate help.
Everyone who works here is a volunteer. Not even operations manager John Cluster is paid for his countless hours of dedication.
A lot of dedicated people here, not just me.
Eyeglasses have been shipped to 76 different countries on 371 missions last year. But going on the missions is no vacation.
Whatever the expenses are, pay your own. And you're there to help people and do the best you can.
But for one volunteer, it's worth it.
When you've been on an eyeglass mission and see what happens when you put these glasses on people, makes you feel really good.
After a long day's work, Cluster can't seem to go home to relax.
When I walk home, I think, well, you know, maybe if I worked one more hour, I could have helped another 100 people.
The Lions can't handle all the glasses on their own, so they work with 4 area correctional facilities: Westville, Rockville, Newcastle, and Pendleton. The inmates clean, inspect, catalog, and box the glasses for distribution. In Upland, Jennifer Kinley, Newslink, Indiana.
If you would like to make any kind of donation, glasses, hearing aids, or money to the Eyeglass Recycling Center, you can send them to 333 Lake Street, Upland, Indiana, 46989. That is Newslink Indiana. Join us tomorrow at newslinkindiana.com for more news.